Hello and welcome back to Film Exaggeration. Well, we looked at one of the most praised Star Trek movies last time, and now we'll be looking at one of the most panned, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. While the odd-numbered Star Trek movies are often considered the worst, the first and third movies do have their fans. Star Trek V, on the other hand, was a complete dud. Not only did it not even double its budget at the box office, but critics and fans hated it. And while some consider it a guilty pleasure these days, it's hard to find anyone defending it. It won Worst Picture that year, and William Shatner even won for Worst Actor and Worst Director. Yes, Shatner directed this. Because, hey, it worked for Leonard Nimoy. But is it the worst Star Trek movie? Well, let's find out. This is Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Oh, I should probably let you know what happened between Wrath of Khan and this. Spock came back to life, and there was some time travel, and some whales. The Enterprise blew up. That's about it. So we start out at Camp Green Lake, where Stanley Yelnats II is apparently attempting to find the rest of the treasure. But Mr. Sears traded his truck in for a horse and is none too pleased about it.
I thought weapons were forbidden on this planet.
Oh, sorry, apparently we're in Australia. Actually, this guy's name is Sybok, played by Lawrence Sluckenbill, and he is here to take this guy's pain away.
Each man hides a secret pain. It must be exposed and reckoned with. It must be dragged from the darkness and forced into the light.
That's what she said!
We then go to... yeah, I'm pretty sure I know Yosemite National Park is on Earth, where we see Captain Kirk climbing a mountain as McCoy watches from below. Apparently they're on shore leave and they figure of all the places on Earth and in the galaxy they could go, they pick Yosemite. You guys are boring.
Greetings, Captain.
Not to break any records.
Man, those rocket shoes from Spy Kids got really lame in the future. How is it that Star Trek has inspired 2 Spy Kids references so far?
You must be one with the rock.
Spock, I appreciate your concern, but if you don't stop distracting me, I'm liable to be one.
Spock, help. This terrible green screen will kill me if I stay in front of it for too long. So he saves him and they sit down for dinner, and then for some reason McCoy's attitude just goes, well...
You know, you two could drive a man to drink.
Me? What did I do?
What did you do? You really piss me off, Jim.
I like to think that this is just 20 years of pent-up rage coming out to give Kirk shit for all the stuff he's put him through.
And even as I fell, I knew I wouldn't die.
Oh, I thought he was the only one who's immortal.
Oh, no, it isn't that. I knew I wouldn't die because the two of you were with me. I've always known I'll die alone.
Okay, Kirk, no more alcohol for you. I think you've had quite enough.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 gently down the...
Okay, attention movie screenwriters. Do not ever have your characters sing row, row, row your boat. It is going to fail, the movie is going to suck, and you are going to be hated. Unfortunately, their leave is cut short as they are called back. It turns out Sybok has taken 3 hostages on Nimbus 3. The 3 were a Romulan, human, and Klingon, all representing of their government.
20 years ago, our 3 governments agreed to develop this planet together.
Well, you're doing a bang-up job of that. Maybe your species really shouldn't work together. So as Kirk and the others get back to the ship, they learn it's not in the best shape. As I said, the last one was blown up, and now their new one isn't ready for any missions. Too bad the Federation tells them they have to take the ship on the mission.
With all due respect, the Enterprise is a disaster. There must be other ships in the quadrant.
Other ships, yes, but no experienced commanders.
Well, why don't you just take another ship? In fact, the way Kirk says it, that actually sounded like what he was talking about.
Other ships, yes, but no experienced commanders.
Yes, so why don't we just take another ship? Oh, no, they're all out getting waxed. Plus, this ship gives us plenty of chances for slapstick comedy.
It is not logical. If you ask me, and you haven't, I think this is a terrible idea. We're bound to bump into the Klingons, and they don't exactly like you.
Feelings mutual.
Hashtag space racist. Speaking of Klingons, one of them, named Claw, no, Claw, learns of Kirk's mission and decides to go after him because, well, there's nothing really better for them to do. So they get a message from the hostages, and when Spock sees Sybok, he feels he has seen him before.
I cannot be certain.
But he does seem familiar.
He reminds me of someone I knew in my youth.
Why, Spock, I didn't know you had one.
Shut up, McCoy.
Transporter room, Stannis.
Got here, Captain. Transporter is still inoperative. Even if we could lock onto the hostages, we couldn't have beamed them up.
Yeah, this is why it would be better to use a ship with a working teleporter. Handicapping your characters through stupidity is not good writing. So they head down to free the hostages and...
Did I put in the animated series by mistake?
As Chekhov distracts Sybok, the others get past the guards by ew. Look, Nichelle Nichols looks great for a woman who was in her mid-50s at this point, but who wants to see Uhura do a sexy dance? Okay, who wants to watch original Uhura do a sexy dance? Like, I think Emma Watson is gorgeous, but if Hermione did a striptease, I would probably cry. So they take the guards' robes and horses and make it to where the hostages are being kept.
Spock, hold your horse, Captain.
Oh, what? That gets a rim shot? Leonard Nimoy makes it work. Yeah.
They are discovered and one of the guards brings out a fucking rocket launcher. You know, in a world where a pistol can evaporate people, I think this is a little over excessive. Kirk makes it inside, but then is attacked by a three-breasted cat lady.
That sounds like some kind of fetish, but I'm not gonna look into it.
And then he just kills her. Like the others got stunned, but she just gets knocked unconscious and thrown face down into water. She's gonna drown. They find the hostages, but it turns out they're now on Sybok's side as they are all taken prisoner. They meet up with Sybok, who says that he wants to take Kirk's ship, which, yeah, take it, man, it's all yours. And it appears he knows Spock as well. So they head up to the ship, but Claw is coming, so the Enterprise was forced to raise their shields, meaning they can't get in. So instead of, I don't know, telling them they have a Klingon representative on board, they just try and get on the ship manually, which they do and manage to escape.
Erin!
Enterprise, you go!
That just looked ridiculous.
So Sybok throws Kirk, Spock, and McCoy in the brig as we learn the connection between Sybok and Spock.
Oh, Captain, you do not understand. Sybok also is a son of Sarek.
You mean he's your brother?
I have a half-brother.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
I was not disposed to discuss matters of a personal nature. For that, I am sorry.
Yeah, why didn't you mention this earlier when they specifically asked how you know this guy?
Do you know this Vulcan?
He is my brother.
Easy!
It is not logical.
Sybok brainwashes the rest of the crew and announces his plan is to go to the center of the galaxy to find a place called Shakari. Scotty manages to break out the trio by blowing up the back, which I guess is easier than just opening the front.
We can't trust anyone now.
If we could send a distress signal.
There is an emergency sending apparatus in the forward observation room.
The only trouble is it's up there. We're down here.
We might be able to reach it by means of turbo...
Okay, the placement of those pipes isn't some problem that's just a bit of a fixer-upper. That's just poor design choice. The trio escape thanks to the power of stupid things and bad editing, but then are captured again.
I trust your message was received.
Useless.
Wait outside.
Get him?
Shakari. The source. Heaven. Eden. Call it what you will. Still, every culture in existence shares this common dream of a place from which creation sprang. For us, that place will soon be reality.
So yes, Sybok's grand plan is to literally fly his starship to heaven.
It is not logical.
Spock, how is he doing that? Well, you see, Jim, it is an ancient Vulcan psychological trick called shitty writing. No, seriously, how is he doing this? He conjures up images of McCoy's father and Spock's birth, and it's clear the others can see it. Is it a hologram? Group delusions? Drugs? It's gotta be drugs. But Kirk and Spock don't fall for his tricks, and it appears they are approaching the center of the galaxy. Well, that was fast.
They say no true can survive this.
I say they're wrong. I say the danger is an illusion.
Oh man, could this be the crew of the Starship Enterprise's final mission? Nope! Apparently getting through a thing called the Great Barrier is easier than going through tissue paper.
Sybok, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy head down to the planet.
I am no longer in control of the craft.
Yes, let God take the wheel. I feel like that was written in specifically so someone could make that joke. So they land and begin looking for any signs of life. No, after the planet begins to shake up a little bit, they actually do find God. Literally, and...
Does this better suit your expectations?
Huh. So it turns out God is a hologram on a planet behind a giant space cloud in the center of the galaxy. I guess everybody was wrong.
And how did you breach the barrier?
With a starship.
This starship, could it carry my wisdom beyond the barrier?
Excuse me, I'd just like to ask a question. What does God need with a starship?
Kirk, don't piss off the giant floating head. God or not, you never piss off the giant floating head.
Of course, Kirk has to be the one to question this thing's authenticity, because hey, it's his movie and he's the one who's awesome.
Then here is the proof you see.
Dead.
Why is God angry?
Have you read the Bible?
So God is apparently sick of being in heaven. That sounded dumber when I said it out loud. And wants the ship in order to leave.
Reveal yourself to me.
What's wrong? Don't you like this face?
Wait, what? So, what is this? Is it a clone? The dark side of his personality that got onto a planet in the center of the galaxy? Does it take on this form to show him arrogance? Is it just fucking with him? What the hell am I watching?
It is not logical.
No, not illogical. This is just dumb. Really, really, really dumb.
So Sybok sacrifices himself, allowing the other three to escape to the shuttle, but unfortunately it won't start. Scotty says they have enough power to beam up two of them, so Kirkus, Spock, and McCoy beamed up. Oh yeah, even the Klingons were able to get through. This has to be the worst security barrier in the universe. Meanwhile, Kirk is being chased by... whatever the fuck it is. But thankfully the Klingons show up to help. So this all-powerful being that can apparently control all matter on this planet is taken out by a few shots from a laser blast. Yay, technology?
I apologize.
Besides, you're weak sauce. I killed God!
So after some half-assed message I guess they were trying to get across, they go back to Yosemite to enjoy the rest of their leave. So are we just gonna pretend none of that ever happened? Pretty much.
No.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's a bad movie. The effects are terrible, the story is boring, the direction is bland, and overall it didn't feel like a Star Trek movie. However, it's an interesting kind of bad. It is easy to make fun of, and it does have some parts that are so what the fuck that it kinda makes it worth watching. But that's not the reason I say it's not as bad as people say. Most people call this the worst Star Trek movie of all time. It's not. It's close, don't get me wrong, but at least it has a plot. At least it has characters doing stuff. At the very least, it was a movie, which is more than I can say for the motion picture. So as bad as this movie is, given the choice, I would rather sit through this again than the first movie.
Or you can just watch one of the good Star Trek movies, and hopefully the new one will join that list. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
High dramatic overdrive, 4 on the floor. Push button windows, push button doors.